Today we are making protein zucchini lasagna. This is one of my family's favorites. Everybody loves lasagna, and we managed to make it so it's high in protein, it's low in carb, there's no grains, there's no pasta, and in fact, our little secret is we're using zucchini today. So let's get started. First, you're gonna need about 3 zucchinis, and you're gonna cut them nice and thin as if you were making pasta, as if you're making your lasagna pasta. So I would say about 1/8 to 1/4 inch thick at the most. You're gonna coat them with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, some salt and some pepper, and then we're actually gonna toss these in the oven at 350 degrees for 5 minutes, flip them all, and then bake them for another 5 minutes, and they're gonna be ready to use instead of our lasagna pasta. Over here, this is going to be for our cheese sauce. We have a small container of cottage cheese, another small container of cottage cheese. I have 1/2 cup of unflavored protein powder, 2 eggs, and 1/2 cup of Greek yogurt, unflavored, and a little bit of colored cheese and a little bit of mozzarella cheese for the very top layer. We also have our amazing protein spaghetti sauce, and that is on another recipe that we've done on Sleever Treats. We will put the link for you in the description box below so you can check that out as well. And we've got everything we need now to make a super healthy, super yummy lasagna. Let's start with putting our zucchini in the oven, and that once again was 350 degrees for 5 minutes on either side. So while our zucchini is cooking in the oven, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna mix up our cheese sauce. So we're gonna add in our cottage cheese. Now, cottage cheese is fantastic because it's really high in protein. And next I'm gonna do 2 eggs, and that's gonna help it thicken up. There's nothing worse when you make lasagna than when it goes all runny in the pan. So when you add a little bit of egg to your cheese mixture, you're gonna wind up with a nice texture to your cheese. There we go. And we're just gonna mix that all together. Once you have your egg evenly mixed all the way through so it looks nice and smooth and you don't have bits of egg anywhere, then you can add in your unflavored protein powder. And we'll mix that together. And we're gonna set this aside now and we'll start to build out our lasagna. Here's our zucchini that we're gonna use instead of lasagna pasta. We'll just let those cool a little bit on the trivet. Try not to make a mess like I just did. There we go. And we're gonna start building out our lasagna using our protein pasta sauce. And remember, the recipe for that is below in the description. We're gonna add about 1/3 of our sauce along the bottom just to cover the bottom of the pan nicely. The great thing about doing a lasagna like this, where you're using, for example, our zucchini, is you can use other kinds of vegetables too. I've done it with eggplant when there hasn't been zucchini available, and it tastes just as amazing. You do it exactly the same way, 5 minutes on either side with some olive oil, some salt and pepper, and then you layer it exactly like you would traditional pasta. Here we go. Look how good that looks. We've got our first layer in. Now we're gonna grab our tongs and we're gonna start to use our zucchini exactly like you would do with pasta. So we'll layer that right in there. Now we're gonna layer our cheese sauce right on top of our zucchini. So just grab a scooper and layer it on. And we've made lots, so be generous with it. And just gonna go ahead and make sure that that's covered nicely. You can use a spatula just to smooth it out on top so that you have everything nice and covered. Perfect. Now we're gonna add our next layer of our meat sauce. And just go ahead and spoon it on as thick as you want it. You can use your leftover cheese sauce if you have any, and then your mozzarella cheese, and I like to add a little bit of cheddar cheese in there just so it looks really nice and has some color. So go ahead and mix that all together and then put it on top, and we're gonna pop it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 40 to 50 minutes. Now that is a lasagna. You could serve that to your family. They would have no idea that there isn't pasta in it, that it's full of extra protein, that it's full of vegetables, and it is so super good for you. We're gonna let this cool for a little bit, but when you make your own lasagna, take some pictures, upload the variations that you've done. I'd love to see it. Like, comment, subscribe so you get all of our recipes. Thanks, guys.